making potential to set up the carry. It's very clear. I think Chief is in a position where they got good disengage, and they want to play out where they get engaged on, they disengage it, and then they kind of find their moment to get back into the fight.
Do you think this composition will unlock Arthur to dominate on the international stage in a similar or comparable way to what he's done in the LCO?
I think it's not fully there. I think they could have gone harder in it, and there was also easier in the past for them to do it, because quite often Chief would be the team that would pick the Lucian Nami, and then all of a sudden you would just have your bot lane be able to move all the time. Or they would be the one with the Kalista, and they could move all the time. You don't have the same kind of things where you're able to move instantly, but he's playing the Graves, and he's playing into LeeSin. That's still very good for the side of Graves, and he's great in this meta right now, as we've already seen so far in the tournament.
Oh man, I'm very interested to see how well Chiefs will perform, as well as how does Rhuckz, the man on your screen, as well as Fnatic, look in their second game. EU's already 3-0, looking to make it 4, and the Chiefs from the LCO are looking to shut them down.
I think we should make it 3-1. I'm down for Chiefs here to take this one. I'm really feeling this region.
Very EU under those. Hold the thought, because if you're at home, make sure to grab the exclusive Very Nasa's Much Wow emote from Prime Gaming by connecting your League of Legends account with your Prime account. I call Nasa Susan. Do you know why?
Because it's backwards.
Yeah, that's right. The oldies will know it.
I feel like the newbies will know it too. It's very simple up there.
Goodball, can you tell I'm excited to be back at Worlds?
I mean, I've been seeing that the entire day. No, that's a lie. I've been seeing that ever since we got here. For the record, me and Trevor, we're extremely jet-lagged. We really haven't gotten to the point yet where we're over it yet. So if we go a little off the rails into this, bear with us. It's been a long day, as for you, so for us. So we're looking forward to this one.
Can I give you a quick stat you're going to like?
Yeah,
I promise.
Yeah.
The last time that Razork played LeeSin was in the 2022 Spring Playoffs. All time, he's got a 60% win-loss on the champion, so we've not seen it this summer. And I'm interested to see how well Razork is going to match up here against Arthur, because we've talked so much about the impact that Arthur has for Chiefs. And you can see both junglers starting in the top half of the map. Topoon will be a little bit late to lane there.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's interesting to see how they'll be enabled by the laners. I mean, more so from the side of Chiefs, because Razork, he will have times where lanes will move, but on the LeeSin, you quite often look to get that level 6 and then see if you can start to commit some plays, especially when you're playing into the Graves. You don't really win those skirmishes if they suddenly meet up. So I think from the side of Arthur, if he can mess around with Razork as much as possible pre-6, that's great. And honestly, another thing I'm always almost willing to give Jojo down here a little eagle to a bonus point. The fact that we have this is cool. I like this.
I love the tri-lane camera. We saw the engage there from Rhuckz, getting that dredge line onto Aladoric and getting a little bit of chip damage. Humanoid and Wunder, on the other hand, they've been bullied and pushed back once again. Rhuckz and Upset going in. The exhaust and the cleanse popped. Aladoric forced to flash to safety, and the Rainbow won't pick up the kill. But 2 summoners for 2, and up in the top lane, Wunder's being bullied by the Snip Snip.
Yeah, so you can definitely see who's the weak side and who's the strong side here from both sides of the team. And actually, Wunder being this low, normally it would be quite dangerous, but because Arthur has decided to path down towards the bot side, he won't really be in a position where you're looking for a dive, right? And another thing you asked me about was like, how is Arthur going to get enabled by the laners? I think you can already see it now. Bot lane is completely pushed in, which actually allows Razork to get a bit aggressive, see if he can get some intel. He's been found out, he's been pinged, and he'll see Arthur now as well.
Yeah, Arthur's going to be able to just dash over the wall. Tally was running a little low, about 60% HP, before he got chunked out there, and I just turned away for a second. Did Razork flash over the wall?
Yeah, so he definitely did, and that's just a wave bouncing back from the bottom side. He already used his Warthog, but just like that, forced to flash out. It's okay, he won't need it until he's level 6, it's fine, but it does create a point of attack, to be serious, from the side of Chiefs.
Yeah, of course, whether or not Razork continues to play that invade style. It's only 3 minutes in. Took a quick glimpse, by the way, at the top lane. Wunder on this Maokai, down 11 CS. He's going to need to farm up underneath that tower as best as he can.
That's the comfort spot for Maokai. Like, you just want to chill up there. You never want to be forward in lane. If your enemy keeps pushing in, you're happy about it. You need a few points in the queue, you hit that level 6. It's really in the team fights where you start to become that menace that you fear. So all Wunder has to do, it's soak pressure. If his teammates can drop a defensive ward across river every now and then, just so they know if Arthur's looking for a dive, that would be great for him. Rhuckz down towards the bot side, trying to freeze the wave outside of the turret, make sure Upset can come back, pick up some gold and minions pushing in. You can already see the inventory looking good for Upset, who got to have an early reset.
Yeah, of course, they're in the mid lane, taking a look at the different CS numbers. Humanoids plus 10 for now. despite the fact that Tally was pushing into him significantly, Humanoid was doing a very good job of picking up those creeps underneath. A rocket jump away to safety. And it's been a fair amount of, pushing back and forth here, as all of a sudden, Humanoid pull backwards. Arthur stepped in. Here comes Razork from the side. Humanoid's held onto that flash. He's literally able just to walk away. Not enough damage from either, and fighting into the minions, so hard with Grave.
Definitely, but you see the setup that works there with the Swain as well. It's super easy to land and never move, and also at the same time, at least one Dark Harvest stack was picked up by Arthur, which of course will exponentially grow over the course of the game. We talked about wards to have intel for Wunder, and really good wards coming out here from Razork as well when he just had the time. They now get the intel. On the other side of Chiefs, the wards are there, but they're more in the river, so they're a bit more neutral, and you won't always have the same intel that Fnatic, for example, gets to work with now.
Yeah, there we go. Humanoid teleports there back into that middle lane. And we're sitting at about 5 minutes in. Chiefs haven't been able to find any of those opportunities that we've come to know from the LCO. Not without trying, it must be said. Keeping my eyes on Arthur once again. He's backed away, step back into his jungle, is going to clear out those chickens. This time Rhuckz is already stepping forward. It feels like a fair amount of Fnatic time spent in like a minute or two, just stepping in, checking out the Raptor camp, making sure they see the timers, maybe keeping a bit of an eye on Arthur, respecting the impact he's had.
Oh, you most definitely have to. Aladoric goes, he caught out.
Yes, indeed. Gets booped on the head by Nautilus, continues to get chunked down and not going to chase further. So the Empire puts some damage down, but there's just not enough burst from Razork this early on. And both teams, just fishing, trying to force an error, not being able to complete it.
Yeah, the boop's not really doing that big of a
Nope,
damage with
it never does. It never does.
It's not really that big hammer you're looking for, an anchorage to get. It's more like the one that makes squishy noises at this point in the game when you finally hit it in.
It's the squeaky children's toys.
Exactly. Now, both junglers are down on the bot side, so depending on how they really communicate this one to play out with, we could see a play coming through. And yeah, Arthur is in a position to be in counter game position.
Rhuckz is going to be so happy that Dredge Line didn't connect. I don't know if he saw Arthur or not. Maybe just as he stepped forward. The rocket jump got Raes away to safety. And that top lane CS difference is now becoming less and less significant. Humanoid's thrown down the Chaos Storm, continues to tick away, forces the flash. He's still got a significant lead in the middle lane and going to be very, very happy with that trade.
Humanoid today on this Viktor has really been showing off, and I think that's great to see when he's had so much criticism over the course of play of Raes.
3, stunned up, Upset's able to escape for now. Still got Flash, still got Cleanse, Razork, Sonic Wave, as well as the Resonating Strike, and dashes back to Upset, pops the shield down. Don't want to step into that end of the line. So much damage can come out.
Yeah, we talked about the action that might happen on the bot side. This matchup as well is just so explosive if it ever really connects here. Ooh, good gravity field as well from Humanoid.
Use the Sith Lightning. Tally's not going to be able to do more than that. But there's a lot of trading this game, Goldborg. Almost every single lane, and once again, we take a look top. One's going to use that Bramble Smash. Are you a little bit surprised by this in terms of just how much poking and trading there has been, or did you expect it?
I'm really not. And once again, it kind of speaks to how Chief is looking to be aggressive as well. Fnatic was one of the most early game driven team in terms of a gold lead they acquired for themselves with 14 minutes. But Chief is looking to be an explosive team as well at the same time. They can really not be underestimated. So I do like to see that both junglers are mimicking each other. They're looking for the same place. They're really not just looking to back down in this game.
No, they're not. I mean, I want to put some numbers to this again, actual meaningful ones, so I don't think I can call them quick stats. We'll get to that in a second, actually, because Razork, can he taxi over W to Wunder, land the Q on the minis, he's holding on to it. There's no support for Chiefs from the river just yet, but there is a ping there, so they're a little bit aware.
So you're aware Gwen can be immune, right?
Yes.
Yes, so if you put down the immune field and Wunder's trying to W, if you get out of range, the W just cancels from Maokai. So it's one of those things where it's super slippery locking this champion down.
Even
it feels bad as Maokai and Vi as well for that matter.
So difficult. 8 minutes in, and it looks like a little bit of shenanigans around the Rift Herald. But I mean, like, for Chiefs, 64% of the games they get first blood. 64% of the games they get first dragon. First tower in 80%. Their gold difference at 14 minutes is usually 3,000 gold. And right now, they're trailing Fnatic at 9 minutes. The only reason we keep talking and highlighting this is the first time seeing them on stage. Want to draw some comparisons to how they perform regionally. And also, I think I want to give some credit here to Fnatic. They've paid a lot of attention to Arthur. They've spent a fair amount of time in that bottom quadrant of the jungle and made sure that they couldn't be surprised by him.
Oh, but you definitely have to. And now with the movements coming through as well, no AD carries have moved up, but there's 4 members trying to get their way into the Rift Herald. Humanoid is a little late to the play coming into this one. He's got better itemization though than Tally, and Insect comes through.
So nicely done. Kick, flash, Tally knocked backwards, Demon flares up, Humanoid arrives to the fray. First blood secured by Fnatic. The Rift Herald is being secured down to 1,300. Razork may be able to steal, no, little too late. Chiefs secure that one, so potential money to be earned if they can get a plate game.
That's the thing, that can still be worth for Chiefs in the regard that they can use the Rift Herald to really pick up a turret if they find the correct play for it, but great way for Razork to just jump over and doesn't even have to connect the Sonic Wave on Tally itself, just find a way to tax it to the minion. No flash from earlier, which once again, good credit to Humanoid who's able to force that by himself in an isolated matchup.
And of course, Humanoid did need a flash for that. He needed to get the Death Ray out. There wasn't enough damage between Razork and Rhuckz to pick up the kill without him getting there. Razork was running a little bit low. Ultimately, Fnatic had that under control. First blood secured, 1,300 gold up. We're 10 minutes in, and Fnatic are feeling very comfortable with this opening phase. I do want to again just draw attention. Look at that mid lane difference. Plus 36 CS and the kill to Humanoid. The goal difference is gigantic at the moment.
It definitely is, but it was always going to be like that. Once again, Tally, he's not so much an individual like man coming through to really gap you in the mid lane. He's there to assist his teammates instead. He's the facilitator of this roster that allows players like Arthur to get aggressive. But I will say though, so far in this game, a lot of it is going to come down to control as you're mentioning it, and moving into this, well, 10-minute mark with Umbral Glaive being finished from Arthur, they're actually going to be in a position to take really good control of the map just due to the fact that you're playing against the LeeSin, which means that the enemy jungler won't take Sweeper. Because of that, they're not going to be able to take care of all the wards that a jungler usually would. And that may also be a reason that Arthur can sneak his way into here. Remember, he's got Umbral Glaive, so if that's not pop, he knows he's not on Vision.
Can Arthur actually help his team? He's got that collateral damage unlocked. Looking at the minimap here, mid lane is pushed into Tally, so Humanoid can respond. Razork started this dragon off, but Upset and Rhuckz under a little bit of pressure here, so not able to find the opportunity. And once again, Tally forced away, pushed out of lane by Humanoid, who's having a stellar opening to Worlds. Not only is he having a great day, just reminder here, Fnatic playing with that sub. They're in their 10th World appearance.
Rhuckz.
Highest of any organization, and now they can try looking to kill that sub. He's going to be able to get pulled back, chucked back in by Kalista, exhausted down, Buster Shot to buy some time. Raes stays alive, but his flash and his cleanse heal rather is already broken. First kill on the board, 4 Chiefs, and it's Arthur that picks it up. Humanoid's got a Chaos Storm available. Death Ray out, looking for that shot. There's another kill secured by Fnatic. Chaos Storm ticking, but will not be able to chase further.
And that's the movement you get from the mid lane that allows you to get so aggressive down in the bot side. It was a good initial response from Arthur as well, finding the kill. But then again, the counter response coming through from Fnatic is great. Tally, at least in that mid lane, will be pushing in a wave. He will be getting some extra breathing room for himself, even if he even can get a plate here, but he's going to decide to move up towards the top side instead to buy some pressure for Topoon.
And this is a little bit of what we have seen from Fnatic this summer. They have not prioritized the Rift Herald at all. Razork started that dragon, which was kind of how the shenanigans played out before the engage on the bottom lane. Fnatic have prioritized Dragon over the Herald all season long. You'll see on the minimap there, Razork looking to go behind the pit before Rhuckz engages.
Yeah, but this is why you pick the Braum as well, right? If you ever see Rhuckz get aggressive, you hit him with that Winter's Bite, and you get aggressive yourself there. Good counter response coming through, but I think it's a really crucial Buster Shot that comes out of Raes. He hits 2 people with this one, and Razork just gets isolated. He goes in for a Warthog to try and secure a kill, but no kick is available any longer, and you're just there to be left out to dry. And Humanoid now finding himself 1 versus 3, goes down to Tally, and Arthur comes back with a counter response from Chief.
Exceptional play-by-play, young man. No flash available, no Chaos Storm. So the Chiefs have found their bite. They've got their second kill. Their goal difference is literally insignificant at 500 right now. And Shelly's just been popped, gonna start to charge up that boop. Visions of the Empire will spot out Razork, get the charge, get the gold before those plates drop. And now it is instant. It doesn't matter, that goal difference. And to nobody's surprise, Arthur 2-0 on the team.
Yeah, definitely. And this is the guy you need to be wary of every time as well. Like, you need to respect this guy throughout the entire tournament. My goal after today's broadcast is next time there's a Twitter poll, it's more than 15% that Chiefs get. Like, get them up to at least 20.
Goldberg, that's not up to you, my friend. It's gonna be up to Raes. It's gonna be up to Chiefs. It's gonna be up to them putting up a fight. Right now, Raes is getting chunked on and rendered down. Well played there by Fnatic.
I'm willing to settle on 19.
Okay, plus 4%. That's what we're looking at. 1 minute
As long
30.
as the stonks are rising, I'm happy. But
That is more than a 30% increase on the original percentage points.
I'd believe you. Like, math is really not my
I actually think my math is wrong, but it sounded good. I delivered it with so much
I believe you. I believe you. Keep it coming.
Look at this, by the way. 7 turret plates secured, 1,100 gold here from Chiefs. We saw the amount of pressure Wunder was under. We've not looked top lane in a little while. The CS is dead even, and this is exactly what a Maokai wants to do. There's no surprises. You were excited to see it picked. We didn't really care about it in the laning phase, but where do you want to see Wunder starting to get involved? They got that TP up, you know, starting to look at the first half falling not too soon.
That's the neat part. You don't really have to care about him too much.
Yeah.
He's just kind of vibing up there.
He's just vibing.
And that's what you want. Like, he's never going to die. He's just chilling. And once you finally get your Thimble Winter as well, you get all the shielding coming through, you have your passive to heal you up. It's going to be great. Just wait for it. I don't have to explain myself. Wunder will do the work later. Now, moving on to the neutral objectives. Cloud Drake does go down onto Cheats. It's a late one at that. 14 minutes, almost 15 minutes being picked in. So if we do go to that late game and they want to keep the stacking going, we might be here for a while.
Nobody was allowed to leave lane. I mean, it's just they're constantly punching and jabbing one another. So there was no real opportunity for that to work out. But this is a good sign for Chiefs. I mean, the first 10 minutes started to feel like Fnatic had answers. But after that engage bottom, after picking up a couple kills, the Rift Herald, the Dragon, Chiefs are now setting up for potential gang. Flash is available for both Rhuckz and Upset.
Yeah, there we go. And I just want to say, play doesn't work out. But look at the vision planning. Okay,
That's the re-engage. Flash, dredge line, teleport coming as well. Here comes Wunder, the twisted advance forward. Where's the Nature's Grasp? The trees start rolling. That's a root in place of 1. Aladoric's going away for 2. 1-2 kills for Fnatic as Aladoric sports some time and the death rate takes him down. There's one reply from Topoon. Take it, take it, take it. Lee Syndrome not followed by Razork despite landing the Q. 3 kills to Fnatic.
Yeah, and they get the turret in bot lane as well. It's going to be the first one at that, despite not having that Rift Herald, but it just goes down to the lane prowess between Rhuckz and Upset. And once again, huge credit to Rhuckz again, coming in as support, playing ERLs, being an 8th place team in the Super League. A Humanoid finding Tally in mid.
Oh man, he's gonna find the gravity field stun as well. Demon Flash charged up. Tally is getting the healing back, firing out the Sith's hand. Here comes Razork. Sonic's wave as well as the resonating strike. Pick themselves up the kill. The tower was secured. And I think that may be one of the biggest caster curses of the day. I was just praising the first 15 minutes of Chief, and then this happened.
But I actually like their game plan, because look at the vision. I was about to highlight as well. Fnatic really get a bigger force.
Oh, we're right back in! That's a goodbye, Humanoid. Didn't get a chance to breathe.
No, that's perfectly fine. I'm here for it. In my opinion, some of the games earlier today are a bit too stale. I like some more action in there. So Chiefs and Fnatic really delivering. But with Humanoid now going down, despite having that teleport, that should mean that the Rift Herald should go over to Chief instead.
I mean, really, really great highlight here from our graphics and stats team. Upset 301 on that Kalista. It has been the late game insurance for a Fnatic as Rhuckz is going to use that Spider Nautilus to dredge line to the wall. Topoon stepping forward, throws out the needlework as well as the second, and the Herald was secured. The thing I want to ask, as now we're moving into the stage of the game, 2,000 gold up, in terms of team fighting, it feels as though Fnatic's comp is a little more straightforward to my eyes in this one.
Yeah, but it's also the intricacies how they work against each other at the same time, right? Because, like, even if you burst the Gwen down a little bit, she's going to heal it up a little bit. She's going to be immune at the same time. You're going to have a Braum that can kind of facilitate you. It's going to be very extended team fights. Healing reductions in this game is going to matter a lot. And so far, it's not been picked up yet.
Okay, let's keep an eye then on if that itemization is secured. And I think for Chiefs, I really want to see their positioning in team fights. Because if Maokai, Viktor, and Nautilus press R, Chiefs members are going to die. Tally's trying to use that Death's Hand, but Humanoid and Wunder literally just stunned. The amount of CC is, as an Australian caster would say, disgusting.
You gotta love the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. Really,
I mean,
just
you
easy to set
definitely
it up.
love the
I
tree.
love that tree. Now, waiting on the top side, holding our breath for a moment. If they wanted to get aggressive, they're not so far. Vision is spotted by Arthur, and they're going to continue to play. They do have that Rift Herald as well, and despite it being Fnatic in a 2k gold lead right now, that can swing so quickly. If you get one pick on the top side, if you're playing on the top side, you get 2 turrets with the Rift Herald, it's back to be dead even.
What do you think about scaling options here? When you look at the fact Tristana, the Gwen,
I think they're great. Honestly, I think they're super great to still have it, and I think even raid the Tristana into the Kalista, where it's going to favor the Tristana. Remember, you get scaling range in the game. The later you get into this game stylistically between the two champions, you become better into the Kalista. And at the same time at that, you also just have super good peeling once again with the Braum. I think that's going to be crucial. But you can always just have them as they run into each other 5 versus 5 and see what happens. But League of Legends is a more in-depth game. Finding pick potential with the Nautilus, just sending Rhuckz in there, pulling him out with the Faith's Call. There's a lot of small things that can happen that can decide to fight. And we've seen it a lot today, even just like going back to the EG game, like Vulcan just flashing in, not having that flash. That was almost the entire game going there.
I mean, I think it's the crowd control is going to be so crucial, really, for both sides. If Upset is allowed to use that martial poise to hop, skip, and jump around, can run amok on several members of the Chiefs roster. And then similarly, for Raes, if he can use the rocket jump and a buster shot to reposition, they've got the tools. I mean, Chiefs, 20 minutes in, they're only down 2k gold. 8 kills to 4 is a little bit concerning because the Rage Blade is already secured for Upset, so he's basically half an item ahead.
Exactly, and the only one still at 2 items on the side of Chief, that is actually Arthur that we've been talking about. But it's looked like Chief, they just want to cross-map a potential Drake, but Fnatic sees them up there, so they're not going to move down towards the bot lane, they're going to contest them.
Flash, fight, already the kill onto Arthur. Fnatic throw a lot at that, but it will give them the control. The mid wave is being pushed in, and Raes is trying to catch that one out, but there's no hesitation here from Fnatic. Rhuckz leading the charge, and the squad following it.
Yeah, they can still try and go on Raes if they want to. Sonic Wave connects.
Wave, not going to find the Tempest Cripple to do a lot more. That Dragon's Rage was already used just a moment or two earlier, but remember, the kill onto Arthur allows the pressure mid, that allows him to get the tower, that allows him to get to the dragon.
Yeah, it's one of the things that's just really nice to see, because obviously you could go for a play that's just, oh, it's a free Drake, let them just do whatever they want to top. But what Fnatic does instead is that they adapt their game plan. They attack the top side where Chief is trying to get aggressive, they find a kill, then they get mid lane turret. Humanoid even picks up the enemy Raptors, and then they get the Drake. It's not just finding one thing, it's finding multiple things, then leading to the neutral objective, and that's how they find themselves in a 3k gold lead now.
I mean, really good position for Fnatic. They've already picked up that win against Evil Geniuses earlier today. This is obviously Chief's debut game this World. I'm wondering what you think thus far. The early game, we didn't see the impact. We weren't expecting Chiefs to perform the way they did in the LCO against Fnatic, right? But they are definitely showing they can move around the map, they can set up the kills they want. Unfortunately, 1 or 2 team fights have gone the way they didn't want to.
Give them time. They'll get
Give them time.
I believe in them. Rift Tile, second Rift Tile has been deployed. Unfortunately, not like they really wanted to. You're not going to get 2 turrets with this one. I'm not even sure you're going to get 1 as it does go down. Razork needs to be careful if this connects, because if you look at the minimap, it's still a lot of Chief members on the bot side, and I think Humanoid is going to be aware of that in just a little bit.
Looking at the teleports, Wunder's got his up if he were to join, but the duo for Fnatic's in that mid lane, continuing to shove forward. I want to just draw your attention once again. Humanoid, 228 CS to the 156 of Tally. This Swain that was picked in that second phase, unfortunately having a tough time. And remember, the Swain was picked into the Viktor as well.
Yeah.
And I know we've spoken a little bit about the individual player and the impact, but this is going to be a tough game for this Drain Tank to be able to do what Chiefs need him to do.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, he's still going to be in a position where when you hit that level 16, the amount of healing you're going to have coming out is going to be quite annoying to deal with. But I will say there's a few good power item spikes coming through from the side of Fnatic. Thimble Winter has just been completed and stacked by Wunder. Healing reduction with the sword chainsaw coming out from Razork as well has been deployed. So this is where, like, if you start fighting now and Chiefs is this far behind the curve, it's just going to be very Fnatic dominated. So I think from the side of Chiefs, if you want to stay in this game, this is where you have to get creative. This is where you have to find ways of winning the game that's not just from 5v5. And what is that then? Well, you're looking towards your side lane maybe, with Topoon on the Gwen as well, because isolated, he still does wonders. The only thing that would really suck for Chief is if Fnatic gets the Barret now.
Oh man, I'm clenching. It's Fnatic. They do have the Rend. They do have the Resonating Strike. They do have that Smite inside the pit. Baron's down to 5,000. The calls to peel. Dredgeline won't catch, but the Nature's Grasp does. Locks down one. Everyone else gets hand behind. Tower secure in the bottom lane as that split push is on, but is it at the cost of the fight? Topoon's trying to run amok, and Upset is chucking out spear after spear. That bloodline is doing so much work as Tally's escaped and Topoon has been pushed away. Humanoid, the advantage he's built up. Death Ray, Siphon Power, the auto attack secures it. 3 kills for Fnatic at the cost of Wunder's life, and they peel back to the pit.
They're going to go straight back to the Baron, but Arthur's still around. He does have that smite, he does have that flash as well, and he does have the mobility in the grave.
This is not
still hope
50-50.
for Chiefs, but Fnatic, they have to force him out of the pit.
This is not a 50-50. With the Rend and the smite, the advantage is for Fnatic, and Arthur has been forced to flash to safety. There are so many stacks on that Baron. All of a sudden, Fnatic jump right back into the pit. Arthur's not going to risk this. Baron secured. The ability to play side lanes has now been mitigated. And Fnatic, once again, showing decisive play. They peeled from the Baron, they won the fight, they got the objective after.
Exactly. Valiant effort by Arthur, but even better, and pressure coming out from Fnatic as well, just forcing him away from the pit. And you can see straight up what the call is from Fnatic. They know to get the teleport. They want to turn immediately with the Maokai. Once again, great point to have the tree in if you just want to turn on them with the ultimate. And they just split up the fight completely. Topoon is doing a lot of damage on the backline, but it's nothing compared to what the Fnatic members are able to do to Tally and the rest of them. Also, Raes going down there. And then Humanoid. What a standout player he's been today.
Oh, such a great performance. Really, really well played. The lead that he's generated is great. And considering how much you love Maokai, I wonder if anybody out there is going to be willing to Photoshop Schoolboy Goldberg in your outfit today next to Maokai.
Goldberg.
Do you know the Whomping Willow from Harry Potter? Do you know that's the name of that tree, right?
Yeah.
So I'm imagining the Whomping Willow as Maokai,
Yeah.
and you're just standing underneath it next to it. Because you've got a lovely, like, just gone to primary school look, your little tie is really pretty, and I just think it'll be really fun, because you're such a fan of the tree.
Yeah, you know who you are? You're like first movie Neville. That's like who I'm seeing right here coming through now in the game as well. Fnatic getting aggressive with the Baron buff on the top side instead, pushing down on the tier 2 turrets. And right now, not the biggest response coming through. Topoon's trying to handshake what he can on the opposite side of the map. But let's be real, you're in a 7k deficit here. Fighting Fnatic straight on when they have the Baron is going to be very difficult. I think the best silver lining you have now as Chiefs is the fact that these Drakes were taken very late. You don't really have too many Drakes stacked up, and giving over 1 Infernal to Fnatic here, it's not really going to break the game.
No, it's not. And I think crucially here, when you start to zoom out a little bit, we're in game 5 of the first day. This is, single BO1, single round robin. And for Fnatic, in the advantageous position they built, they still have to close this game out. They're being in a position where they could be 2-0 on a day where they had to play with a substitute. It's a great start for Fnatic. They will secure themselves this second Drake, the Mountain, and the Infernal. They've got 4 towers to their gold lead is up to 7,000. You're starting to see 2-3 items across the board. We're starting to see some healing reduction built into the inventories as well, and that Baron buff. I mean, all the tools are available to Fnatic to win this game, so it's their game to lose at this point.
Oh, 100%. As Chiefs right now, you're just saying give, and defend whatever we can, but don't overforce the issue. You need 3 items on the Tristana. If you're lucky enough to get it, 3 items on the Swain, so that's probably not gonna be the situation. You're looking at Arthur really to try and finish up that LDR, at least to try and find some extra damage to shred through some of the frontliners that there is. But as you said yourself, this is really Fnatic's game to lose at this point. And look at the structures, look at the jungle. They take away everything right now.
Plus 5,000 gold on the Red Bull Baron power play. I mean, that is phenomenal. Another tower being focused down. Not gonna be able to secure it just yet. Topoon is being pushed away from Humanoid. I've noticed the last few engages, Humanoid is just hunting that Gwen. He's looking to push him out. 5, 2, and 2. 3.5 items completed. 7 stacks on that seal. And like Topoon cannot find a flank opportunity. He cannot get into the fight because Humanoid's there waiting to push him out.
It's one of those things as well in the matchup is the sooner you can bait out the hollowed mist and just disengage and then start the fight. That's really how you want to play that matchup as Humanoid, and having first strike as well in this instance where there's not a lot of people who's able to touch you. Look at the amount of damage he's busting out even through the Braum.
Man, that gravity field was so close to landing. Tower's fallen, pushing the top wave as well. The bottom lane doing a whole lot for now as Tally's going to get some damage back, but Wunder doesn't give a damn. 2-level advantage already. I mean, Tally's level 14 to Humanoid 16. Topoon 15 to Wunder 16. Everything is just going up. Plus 10k gold. And we're now looking to see how Fnatic just knock over those final structures. For Chiefs, it's been a interesting start. The first game kind of playing out somewhat as we were expecting.
Yeah.
And I do think you want to give some credit to how they try to set up those plays on the side lanes, but unfortunately, Tally just got bullied and beaten up a lot, and Humanoid, as well as Upset, took over.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where there will just be a skill discrepancy every now and then, and that's just a talking point. But let's see if they can shut down their skill discrepancy with Humanoid on the side lane.
Let's find out.
Infamous
comes in here. Humanoid has done nothing but walk away. Wasn't able to be held down at all. Tally and Topoon down at 50% HP. Fnatic, do they want to cut them off? How bold are they feeling? Wunder's got teleport. Level 17 pushing the top lane. Two members of Fnatic were inside that red buff area, but the minion wave wasn't there, so Upset's brought this along, and it's just pressure for days. I mean, put yourselves in Chief's shoes. They have been fending off a Fnatic offensive for what feels like 8 straight minutes.
They're holding on for now, but the question is, how much further can you hold on? Wunder dives on the turret.
The Nature's Grass comes out, roots up 1 or 2. Wunder's going low. Aladoric jumps forward. Topoon does too. No needlework available to him as he used out in the bottom lane engage. Humanoid's been exhausted, forced to flash for his life. The engage comes out, and Tally is dead. Add 1 to Fnatic's Tally. A fantastic Fate's Call secured. Upset with the triple, with the quadra, looking for the pentakill. Not going to find it just yet. Topoon's golden. Pentakill!
We're in Mexico. Upset gets a pentakill.
What a fantastic finish for Fnatic. Upset picks up the 5th and final kill. Hibbiter starts to be taken down, and the death timers are too high. The minions are too plentiful. And Fnatic will look to go 2-0 on the day with a substitute in emphatic fashion. Fnatic will take down Chiefs.
Taking its time. Give it a moment. And there it is. You can see it on reaction coming through from Upset as well. Fnatic starting out with a 2-0, and despite all the issues they've had, all the questions about this roster leading into the World Championship on the first day, they shut all the doubters up.
I mean, it's a really, really fantastic start when you consider the rest of the teams in the group, Beyond Gaming, Detonation, Focus Me, and Loud. After seeing today's games, one would assume Fnatic are going to be favored to top the group. That's how the expectations will be read out. I do think it's way too early to making any.
I was going to say,
like
you
that.
save that for your death segment tomorrow.
Way too
then
early.
you can start doing the overreaction. But so far, it's looking good for Fnatic. And thinking back to the issues they had in playoffs as well, the things that lost them games to Rogue, they fixed a lot of them. Just seeing Humanoid on a control mage and